Seriously, let me ask you how you would choose in this situation. You just landed the biggest job in your HR career. You're working in New York City. You're about to meet your new boss, and the phone rings. It's your family. Your father's had a major stroke, and he lives here in Charlotte. Oh, by the way, in that phone call, you were drafted as the #1 overall draft pick for caregiving. So what do? Do you stay put, loyal to your job, try to manage from afar, or do you jump on a plane and come down to Charlotte? Both are hard decisions. What would you choose to do? Well, I got on the plane and came down to Charlotte. Sorry, Mom. And and it wasn't easy for me to do that. I was very uncomfortable doing it. But today, 20 years later, I'm still a caregiver for my 96-year-old mother. Say, hi, Mom. Hi. She's amazing. I'm doing much better now because I've got a great family here in Charlotte that helps care for Mom. Look, caregiving is out there. There are 1 out of every 5 Americans that are caregivers, 63 million people. And 70% of them have jobs. So who are all these people? They're not who you think. I assure you, they're people you know. They're in your meetings. They're returning your emails. They're leading your teams. They are the fastest growing segment of the workforce, but you can't see them. But if you put a caregiver label on them, you would see that they are some of your top performers. They are your future leaders. They are your managers, people you rely on, but they're invisible. Why? Who can talk about caregiving at work? It sucks. It's private. It's risky. When I went visible in front of my boss, you know what he said to me? He frowned first and he said, can't your wife do it? Oh! I went visible forever in that role. If caregivers remain visible, we are unseen, unheard, and unsupported. That leads to physical, mental, emotional, and financial stress, which leads to burnout. Not the burnout that starts at work. It starts right here in cold sweats, worrying about caregiving, worrying about deadlines. And then it follows you to work, 9 a.m. So you're there, but you're not. That's called presenteeism. Or you might have to take off that afternoon or not even show up tomorrow. That's called absenteeism. If you put those two things together, it affects productivity. And they will leave your company if they have to make that choice. Now, I know what we're thinking. Working caregivers sound like a liability. What if we're wrong about that? What if they're an asset? Recently, we had the great HR leader, Claude Silver, on my podcast. And she shared a story. One of her top leading leaders was tanking for 6 months. She sent one of her culture champion people out to meet with him. Over coffee, he finally shared, my mother passed away, and I have to put my father in assisted living. I'm struggling. Claude picked up the phone and said, what can we do to support you? We asked Claude, what can HR do to support working caregivers? She said, easy. Be empathetic listeners. Be psychological safety coaches. So let me leave you with 2 things that you could do today, HR leaders. Number 1, don't be this guy. This is Jersey Joe. How you doing? How you doing? And you don't really care how you're doing. Be more empathetic. Ask questions like, tell me something difficult you're going through this week, and then listen. You'll hear caregivers telling you about how they navigate crisis, how they build resilience, how they advocate for people they care. By the way, those are skills of leaders that you want. And when they finish sharing, don't fix it. Acknowledge it. Tell them, I see you. I hear you. And we have resources for you here, because most employees don't know that. That's number 1. Number 2, don't wonder if working caregivers live under your roof. I saw a lot of nods while I'm talking. They're there. And you want to prove me wrong? Go do a survey. You'll see them. Ask tough questions. You'll hear them. Questions like, are you comfortable and safe sharing with your manager your caregiving needs? You see, if caregivers feel safe, they'll share more. If they share more, they'll be seen, heard, and get support. So let me ask you again, what would you choose in that scenario? You know, we shouldn't have to choose between both. Why can't we choose both? And by the way, You're the beginning of that opportunity and hope. Let's do it. Thank you.